GEXCon. We're getting started with speedrunning the panel in just a few moments. Word.
Okay, thank you.
Woo! Everybody give a round of applause to that man running this fine establishment. Woo! Doing a little dance. Making a little love. Get down tonight. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. I get a shout out. So do you. Oh, yeah. Hi, friends. Whoa. What? We're good. My man. Special shout out to our technical team making the magic happen. Give him a round of applause. Woo! This is Speedrunning the Panel. I'm Gregor Man. This is Cashmere Keith. He's doing one of those fancy shout outs. So man, Speedrunning the Panel, who am I? I'm a huge nerd. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff on the... Wow, why is that feedbacking? What is that? What is that?
Probably doing microphones.
Alright, word. Yeah, I'm Gregor Man. Those are some of my runs that I've done. I speedrun a lot of things. 2 years speedrun before. You ever done a speedrun? Nope. First timers, that's awesome.
Woo! Speedrunners.
It's real easy to jump in. You just take here, boom, what is speedrun? Boom. Definitions and stuff, like we're back in school, but except cool. Speedrun is a playthrough of a video game with the intention of completing as fast as possible. Your first run, you're like, don't clear yourself world record times unless there's no world record yet. Then you're the world record holder by beating a level. Why should I? Can you guys just hear me? No? Okay. Why should we speedrun? Why should we do that? Speedrunning is a great way to connect. Okay. Oh, that's way better. Yes. All right. Speedrunning is an excellent way to connect with communities of different games. Games that are unique, games that maybe aren't as popular as CS:GO or Rocket League or anything there's a tournament here for. Games with much smaller, tightly knit communities. An example, back when I started, I did a speedrun of Jersey Devil, and I submitted the run, and out of nowhere, two guys like, "Hey, we made this Discord. We are going to worship you as a god among men for doing this game." I'm like, all right. Since then, I've crushed the times down ridiculously. One thing I will go into right now is speedrunning your health. All those doctor's warnings are like, oh, every hour take a break. That's a little excessive. I wouldn't go that far, but definitely be conscious. You're going to be doing a lot of repetitive, intense inputs very frequently, very rapidly, and that, for me personally, is worn on my wrists. I see a chiropractor, and it does wonders. Just be aware, stay hydrated. Hydrate Bot on Twitch is my friend. He'll show up, be like, hey, drink some water. I'm like, oh yeah, thanks, Hydrate Bot. He's a real pal, unlike Nightbot. We make fun of Nightbot on my stream. So how do you get started? Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to speedrun a console game? Do you want to speedrun a PC game, a Game Boy game? Depending on what you're doing, depends on what you need. For Game Boy games, there's different emulators. And every leaderboard just about has standards of what's allowed, what's not allowed. So you just go speedrun.com, hit up the leaderboards, but man, I have this cool stuff. Also, at any time, ask questions. Just raise a hand and be like, hey, I have a question at any point. OBS is excellent, even if you're not streaming, even if you're just recording runs, because you're like, man, I want to do speed runs, but I don't want to be on Twitch. I don't want people watching me and distracting me with their comments. Ugh. So just record your run. It's super easy. Look, I'll even show you OBS right here. Boom. This is OBS. Can you see that? Yeah, you can kind of see that, kind of, sort of, a little bit. Yeah, about to begin. Totally, yep. Yeah, woo! Just start. Question. Holy crap! I can't hear you at all. Man. I haven't actually used Streamlabs outside of I use their alert box, which you can go onto streamlabs.com, connect your Twitch, and then you can have a browser source. Like, for example, here are my alerts. You just make a browser source, and they'll pop up during your stream, or during, oh no, don't freeze. So yeah, I haven't actually used it, but I'm sure like if what you're going for is more of like a user interaction, make your viewers feel special, they have like a whole bunch of like different alerts and built-in tools and like really cool things and like banners and bars and stuff.
I just use OBS because I'm old and stuck in my ways. It's so easy.
Yeah, so I mean, it really comes down to preference. I always say OBS just because I use it all the time and it's magical for me. And it usually works, like 99% of the time it works. Every once in a while it's like, I don't want to work today. I'm going to just not going to work today. And then to do your timing, I use a program called LiveSplit, which is super customizable. People make plugins for it. It is wonderful. You download it, it's free. You type in a game and they have a built-in database that syncs with speedrun.com, so like it'll like autofill categories for you, and then like a lot of communities will have splits for their games, or for like different like categories. Like the Spire community has splits for any percent, 100%, and most communities, or I don't know about most. I don't know. I'm not the survey taker, but a lot of them do. And then if you want to run console games and you don't use emulator, you probably need a capture card. I think Dazzles are cheap and effective. I still have an HD PVR2 from like back when I did YouTube, and it still gets the job done. It really doesn't matter what you use, as long as you're... I mean, honestly, some people will literally point a camera at their TV, like, hey, I'm speedrunning this game. It's valid, you're playing the game. Obviously, if you're going for a high-quality stream, you don't want to do that, but if you're just trying to play the game and have a good time, it gets the job done. Big question that people always ask, well, what should I play? People always like, man, suggest a game. And I really can't do that, because one of the most important components of a speedrun is interest. And I could say, hey, play Jersey Devil, it's the greatest speedrun game of all time. Most people, alright, who's heard of Jersey Devil? Show of hands. Alright, one guy, two guys. Jersey Devil did not sell worth a crap on PS1, but I love it dearly. It's my favorite game. And that is what I will always say. If people are genuinely like, hey, I want to play a game, Jersey Devil. But really, it's like, what do you have passion about? Like, what have you played a lot? What do you enjoy? Because speedrunning, like, if you speedrun a game and you take it seriously, you're going to be in there for a while. You're going to be hours and hours, resets, grinding. Jumpy Luff, who on speedrun.com has done like the second or third most games out of anybody ever, he gave me a quote. It says, as for choosing what to run and what to put in, it's all down to the player. I would suggest starting with a game you either like a lot and want to add another dimension to the gameplay, or a game you know very well, like from your childhood. I would not recommend picking up Super Mario Odyssey, Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time just based on popularity. But if it fell into the knowledge or desire to add Yeah, but only if it fell into the knowledge or desire to add playstyle dimension. Speedrunning adds a dimension. It takes a game, like, you can beat a game, like, you can beat your favorite platformer 100%, man, I did it, and then that's kind of it. It's kind of like, oh, geez, I did it, what else is there to accomplish? This is like that next step. This is, like, just beating it is sort of like an iceberg. It's just the tip of the iceberg. There's all this wonder underneath of it, and you learn about the way the different games work. And actually, I hope that this has audio out of that. I'm gonna hope real hard. A guy one named Lucas, he's wonderful in the speedrunning community. If you're ever on Twitch, check him out. Is that audio? Is it? No. Okay, so in Rugrats Search for Reptar, there is a level where you're Reptar, and there's light posts, and if you hit them, they slow you down. So you have to sort of like swerve in between them. He's sort of explaining that if Reptar's fingernail hits it, this light pole stops this giant dinosaur. It's kind of hilarious and ridiculous. The light post says no. None shall pass, and it costs time, and when especially when it comes down to optimization, you don't want to lose fractions of a second. So how do you get good? This is what I sort of do. I always start with just doing it. It's just a blind speedrun. Like, I'll just turn on a timer, I'll play through the game, just to get my bearing, just so that way I understand, like, when I go to study what I'm looking at, what the context is, what are all these levels, why do I need these things? I would never recommend speedrunning a game unless it's a meme. Meme games are a different story. I speedrun those blind all the time. But generally, you don't want to speedrun a game unless you beat it casually first. Makes it infinitely more difficult. Because a lot of games are just hard in general, and if you've never played it, you're going to have a hard time. Unless you're just a prodigy, which I wouldn't describe. So then I study the game, I'll watch runs. I wouldn't necessarily watch the world record run. World record runs are usually very optimized. They usually do a lot of crazy tricks that back when they started, they didn't learn the tricks. They played through the game, the tricks were discovered as they learned. So I wouldn't worry about getting all the big tricks at first. I would not stress about that. I would stress about getting good at the game and then sort of adding tricks as you go. Like every run or several runs, it's like, say, hey, that trick, let me practice it and let me get it in. One such trick is in Spiral 1, there's this proxy that you can see right here. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It is much easier than it looks, to be honest. I thought it would be impossible and hard and a pain in the ass. Fun story, it's actually not. You just charge up, you press X, and you press X again. And so I was doing that for cheat percent, so I'm going to add that to my any percent run next time. And that saves probably about a minute versus going through the level normally. So, yeah, so that just skipped the entire level right there. Yeah, and then just practice. And then if you're doing runs, you're like, man, this one particular part I'm struggling with. Practice that part. If you're on an emulator, take advantage of save states. And just keep repeating the same things over and over and over again until you get it consistent. And then when you're not doing runs, look for new glitches, look for new tricks. There are exploits in every game still waiting to be found. Like a lot of games are thoroughly tapped out, but most, I would honestly say 99% of games have many, many tricks and glitches and skips to be found. And that's a great way. Let's say you're interested in speedrunning, but you don't want to do the speed runs. If you want to look for glitches, if you want to try to find tech, that is hugely beneficial. There are people in the community of most games that I'm in the community of that they don't do runs themselves. They'll just look for glitches. They'll find ways to break the game and say, hey, speedrunner, take this and beat the game faster, would you? Routing is hugely important. Honestly, one of my favorite things is to take a game that doesn't have runs just because it's fresh. Nobody's done it. I can route it myself without following an existing route, and it just adds a whole other level of interest to it. And also, don't just assume that runs that are there have the best route. There could be a better route. In Jersey Devil, the last several times I played it, I've found different ways to make the routes better that like don't seem logical. Like sometimes like you'll do stuff in a weird order that just doesn't feel faster, but then you'll look at your split and you save 10 seconds, you're like, oh, I guess that was faster. So do that. And then the communities are great. I've not encountered a game with a community I did not enjoy. Go on speedrun.com. Usually there's a link to a game's Discord, which is usually where we all hang out these days, until I'm sure something will take over Discord in 5 years, just like Discord took over Skype. Haha. Go on Twitch. Like, watch, like, speedrunning's been growing. Like, leader, what's happened? Oh, sorry. Is anybody have any questions, by the way? Cool. Engage with the communities. Go on Twitch. Do races. If like you're getting good at a game and people be like, hey, we're doing a race for this category this time, and you're available, do it. It's fun. It's way less stressful because instead of just trying to get a better time, it's a race, so you can't reset. You're just trying to beat either your own time or the other people involved. And it's a lot of fun, and it's great for de-rusting as well. If, like, let's say you've speedrun a game, but then you stop for a few months, and then you come back to it. Races are great for de-rust, because it's like, oh hey, I'm 5 minutes behind my PBs, but that's okay. And participate in marathons. And I'm not talking about AGDQ, SGDQ. There's so many smaller marathons that also warrant love and attention. Many of which we found on speedrun.com. And just talking to members of the community, like, hey, we're doing a marathon. Here's some of, actually those are the marathons I've done. Project Fundraising, Speed Stuff for Charity, Explodadon, DGen Dash, Midwest Speed Fest, all excellent marathons that, they're way more than just the GDQs. Although I did submit, and I really hope they accept me. Fingers crossed. Say you don't want to speedrun. How do you get involved? Something I talked about earlier, you glitch hunt, you watch others do runs and support them. Be a coach, you know, I equate speedrunning to sports a lot. It's the same mentality, it's the same preparation, it's the same, like, getting better. And if, like, let's say you're watching somebody and they keep making the same mistakes, or there's like some things they could change and they could do really better. Like, I can't speak for everybody, but I know I would love it if people said, hey, you're doing this terribly, there's this totally better way, you should do it. Like that proxy glitch I showed you, I wasn't going to go for it, but then they're like, no, it's free, do it. And that encouragement from people in the community, I think, is one of the fuels that pushes these games lower. Like Spyro the Dragon 120%, I remember a few years ago, the world record was at about 90 minutes, and they're like, oh, it can't go any further. I'm like, yes, it can. What are you doing? And now it's down to 122, which is a ridiculous run, by the way. One of the most optimized speed games I've seen. If you want to be impressed for an hour and a half, watch. And also, if, like, let's say you're a programmer and you're like, man, I have all these programming skills and I'm bored, write a plugin. Live Split supports the development of plugins, and I think they're super cool as far as displaying information. Like, one I use is a PB chance that I haven't looked at his code. I don't know what exactly is determining why it's telling me what my PB chance is, but I think it's cool to have. It, like, takes into account resets, it takes into account your worst and best segments of each split to say, all right, this is possible, this isn't possible. Hydration, kinda. Morning after hydration. Speedrunning skills for life. One of the things I found with speedrunning is if you take those same mentalities, that same relentlessness, that same passion, and apply that to life, it's wonderful. And patience is a huge one. Especially if you're trying to get like a really hard trick. An example, I was Chris LBC, who currently has world record in Spyro the Dragon any percent. There's a trick at the end called Twilight Harbor Skip, which involves running at the mouth of the dragon and jumping at the exact right moment and then gliding, and then it only sometimes works. And it's like, and it's in the penultimate split, so you've already played for about 35, 40 minutes, and then you have to do this trick at the end of the run, and he's honestly best Spyro player as far as I can see, Spyro 1 player in the world, and he struggles with it a lot. Patience. So just run through a game for 40 minutes, not knowing if you're going to be able to pull off the crazy trick at the end, which I find frustrating sometimes because it's not, like, that's like not what the gameplay is. That's not, like, I don't see it as much of as a skill as much as what's the word I'm looking for? You don't know? Nope. We're Jay and Silent Bob. But yeah, just staying patient. Another great speedrunner, Jeremy Thompson, one of his advices is to detach yourself from the result. To go into runs not expecting anything, just expecting to play a game and have fun, and to do it at a high level. And just knowing that eventually if you do it enough, you're going to get the run you're looking for. You just got to keep practicing it. You got to find consistency. And also efficient routing. I take those same routing sort of strategies and I apply them to life. Like, for example, when I'm getting ready in the morning, I'll like arrange my morning based on, okay, all right, I'm going to the bathroom, I better brush my teeth and I better use the bathroom before I go to the kitchen to eat food, because otherwise why am I walking back and forth? Super inefficient, time loss. And I don't know, that was probably a bad example.
It works.
Yeah, it works. For a while there, I set up splits for my commute to work. Because I was like, man, this commute to work is boring. Let me do some splits. It's mostly just red light RNG. But it made it interesting for a little while. And it builds confidence. It's something you can be like, hey, I'm really good at this thing. If I apply these same principles, I can be really good at a lot of different things. And I think if there's people struggling with confidence, that it's huge just to say, hey, I did something really good. I am ranked X position at Y game. And man, if I took that same tenacity, I could be amazing at anything. What's next? Motivation is a huge one. Sometimes I struggle with motivation to play certain games. I find that competition is huge to stay motivated. An example is Jersey Devil. I hold world record in all tokens at 100% by very wide margins. And both those times are super unoptimal. They could both be pushed down by probably at least another 6 to 8 minutes each. But not having the competition, I'm like, I'll get to it eventually. But if there's somebody like nippy at my butt that was also running it, you bet your ass I would be playing Jersey Devil right now. I'd probably be like, nope, sorry, can't go to GEXCon. I gotta get my time lower. Can't afford the weekend off. So yeah, competition. I struggle with competing against myself. Once I find a time that I'm like, hey, I'm satisfied, I'll move on. But then I keep coming back. I know that a lot of speedrunners, they'll like take a game and they'll grind it all the way down until they reach their goal, and then they'll never speedrun it again. At least for PV anyhow. But me, I'll like, if you ever check out my stream, twitch.tv/BreggerMan, that's a shameless self-plug. Like just this last week, I played Spyro, I played Smuggler's Run. By the way, Smuggler's Run is a legitimately hard game. Holy cow. It is a well-made hard game. I did Rugrats Search for Reptar. I ordered a copy of Dragon Tales Dragon Wings to try to take back my world record in that. But yeah, that was the meme world record I held for a few months. But somebody took it, so I got to get it back. Also, another part of motivation is enjoyment. Speedrunning, it's not going to pay the bills. Unless you're like a top runner in a super popular game, you're not probably most likely going to be able to pay your bills with it. It's a hobby. And hobbies are meant to be enjoyed. And if you're not, if you're speedrunning something and you're not enjoying it, stop. Unless it's just like a hard part that you're like, man, this is frustrating, and then you get through it and then it's fun again. But if you're just not enjoying what you're doing, don't do it. Life is way too short, and there's a lot of different cool things. If you're more into CSGO or you're more into Rocket League, play those things. Speedrunning is incredible and enjoyable, but not everybody enjoys it, and that's okay. And you shouldn't force yourself to enjoy something. But if you do enjoy it, do it. It's the most rewarding form of gaming I've ever found. Like, just that feeling when you get that good time, when you pull off that trick, when you get the world record, it is euphoric. It feels amazing. I would say it's better than... Wait, what am I allowed to say or not say? You get the idea. I don't want to get banned, so I'll stop myself short. Put it down! Also, another thing to note is that these games are not as hard as the world records make them look. If you're willing to put in the time and the effort, you can compete with any world record. Some world records will take longer and harder than others. Like, for example, if you want the Spyro world record, good luck. The guys at the top of that leaderboard grinded for literal years. But if you want something like, for example, Rugrats I Gotta Go Party for the Game Boy Advance, you could probably get it if you grinded for a day or two, to be perfectly honest. So it really depends on how much time you want to put in, and you don't have to compete for world records. Like a lot of games, like one of my goals is just to be decent at a lot of different games. Just to be like, hey, I'm a decent Spyro player. I'm decent at Crash. It's just set a goal and chase it relentlessly. If you really want to see, one of the best examples of people I know is Jeremy Thompson. He's very different from me. He's the best at Spyro 3 80%, and he's grinded that game for actual years now, and he's relentless about it, and that's basically all he's run. I would get sick of it. I'd be like, no, I need to do something different. But there's different strokes for different folks. Some master tips. Move with conviction. Like, you're good at the game. If you're speedrunning a game, odds are you're probably good at the game. You probably are skilled at the game. Trust yourself. Have confidence in what you're doing. Trust your inputs. Like, the thing about speedrunning is a lot of glitches and tricks. The inputs are going to seem weird. They're going to be like, man, that makes no sense as to how that actually works. But you know it works, and it works, so just do it. Don't hesitate. Especially a lot of tricks, there's like a lot of them are frame perfect or nearly frame perfect, and even the slightest hesitation will throw off the timing, and the trick will not be accomplished. But yeah, and just be interested in what it is you're doing. Oh man, what? Let's do a speed run. Man, that's really cool, guys. That is really cool. You guys want to do a speed run? It's really easy, I promise. We're gonna play a game with no controller. Where's live split? And we're gonna beat it in less than 10 minutes. and we're going to be on the leaderboards. Who's excited? As soon as it loads, please don't crash. Computer, please. Alright, so there's live split. Actually, real quick, let me show you live split. So if we go into live split, so let's say you were like, man, it'll start off like this. It'll be blank. You right click, edit splits, and you type in whatever game you want. So let's say you're like, man, I want to play, somebody name a game. What's a game? Name a game.
What are we guys doing right now?
Barney. Yeah. Barney. Hide and seek game. I'm not on the Wi-Fi, but if you were on internet, that would autofill. It's magical. And then these categories would fill with the actual categories of the game. And then you go down here, you type in your splits. You're like, man, do a thing. And then you're like, do another thing. Usually you split at the end of a level, normally. Some people split more often. Some people split after every major activity. The great thing about splits is if you're a big analytics guy, like me, they're excellent. You can pinpoint your time loss, pinpoint what you did wrong. But let's do this speed run. Let's do it. If it loads. As soon as it loads. You know what? Let's just close. There's Fusion. Alright, there we go. Genesis. Open. Alright, here we go. Here's Barney. Any percent, no controller co-op. With live split, you can, what do? You can set your hotkeys. I use numpad 0 for my split, but you can use whatever button. You can get a giant, obnoxious, big button, like one of those big ones, if you wanted to. So, the time for this category, time starts when you gain control of Barney, and it ends when he triggers the cutscene at the end. Notice, here's my controller. I'm not touching it. Not touching the controller. Alright, time starts. Let's go, Barney. Let's go, Barney. World record is 9 minutes and 9 seconds. Can we... Look, he's doing a little dance. He's like, oh yeah, I'm Barney. I'm excited. Here we go. No, don't look at the pail. Don't do it. No, come on. Come on, don't. Okay. I thought we were going to get past the butterfly, but we didn't. I haven't actually studied the game enough to know every possible thing he's going to look at. But, man, something's in the sky. Come on, Barney. No. Don't do it, Barney. Don't look at that animal like that. You saw his look. He's like, "Rrr." Man, he loves this tree, I guess. He's like, man, I'm just going to build some hearts. You leave that girl alone, Barney. Get away from her. Don't touch the balloon. Oh, he keeps. We got. I'm just gonna call that balloon skip. We got balloon skip. That's what just happened right there. Oh, whoa, we're going for a slide. That was cool. So yeah, this is the greatest meme of our generation. Holy crap! There are some wizards over there. That is cool too. Cooler. That is cool.
I didn't know this was an actual thing.
Yeah, this is an actual thing. Memes are excellent. They're great. They pull communities together. We're all playing Barney. No controller. I can't hear a word you just said because of the acoustics, but you are incredible. Hit me up on the internet, good sir. Score touchdowns. Make it rainbow. So yeah, this is the greatest game.
And this only takes 9 minutes.
Yup. There are 4 levels in the game. Barney wanders through. No inputs. What? Yeah, he's just... they programmed it, so he just does. continues. It's kind of random what he'll look at or not look at. Like, I don't know why I just looked at that balloon for so long. Like, oh man, that is what kind of animal is that? I can't tell. Ooh. All right, we've made it to the end of the first level. We are tied with my time of 9 minutes and 19 seconds. We are tied for 0.0. But yeah, memes are great. They make the world go round. They're a magical, happy, wonderful time. How much time do I have? You know, I might do a real speed run after this if he finishes fast enough. Do a Spyro the Dragon cheaper set if it works. Oh, keep going, Barney. Keep going, Barney. Let's all cheer on Barney. The more encouragement he gets, the faster he goes. Let's try that for a strat. Go, Barney, go. Go, Barney, go.
That's how it works.
It's totally how it works. Genesis games are voice activated, right? They were ahead of their time. Voice activation.
Well, this is really not a thing.
This is a thing. This is a real life thing. This is how easy it is to get into speedrunning. If you're like, man, I just want to be on a leaderboard, this. You don't even need to touch a button.
No.
Wait. A what? A cooking race. So I cook while Barney's racing? I'd have to be pretty quick, especially if I need to heat an oven or something. He'll probably be done by the time the oven's preheated, but you never know. He could always stop and he could always dive into that house and be lost forever. You don't know. We're at a convention full of professional gamers. And we're playing some bar. Oh my god, that is wonderful. That is wonderful. The Wizards. The Wizards. Oh. Yes. Oh man, they're doing the cool kid dances. Oh man. Oh whoa. That's a dancing. Oh shit. Shiznits. I forgot to split, but that's okay. I think we're about even. What? Well, judging by their stabs, I'd say they're at least buzzed. Ooh, yes! The wizards are coming to get us made. Bum, bum, bum.
These are cursed, by the way.
Oh, yes!
Thank you.
Woo!
By the end of the night.
I mean, I didn't need this to do that.
Oh, you're gonna get double A now. Right.
Oh, yes, double A drunk. The wizards. Oh, Lord. This is a great time. But yeah, everybody, we got professional CSGO players, professional Rocket League players, and we're just over here, we're just playing Barney. Life is grand. It's okay, there's probably like 3 more minutes left. 3 more minutes, and we get the world record.
I still can't believe this is a thing.
Oh yeah, this is a thing, my friend. This is a thing. How does that make you feel? Tell me. Tell me your thoughts, Keith. How do you feel about this game being a thing? It's me.
Hatred?
He feels hatred. Why do you feel hatred?
Because this is bullshit.
Oh yeah?
Look at it.
What is this fish doing? What? Get away from that fish, Bart. Look at that clam.
He's just blank staring and walking.
Yeah. Sounds like Barney to me, yeah. Oh, are we at the end? All right. We've made it to the end of that level. Let's see how we do. All right, last level, folks. Can we get us a world record? Can Barney sufficiently move through the level? It's the fourth quarter, folks. We're about tied with a 9:19. He's just dancing. He's like, screw your world record. I'm just going to do a dance. Yup. Oh, man. Don't stop. Well, he did a jump. Wow. Barney can jump on his own. What a professional. What an incredible guy. Fun for the whole family.
This is really about to happen, and I can't.
This is happening. This is real life, and this, my friends, is happening. We are speedrunning Barney. And, man, he's just like, man, this is an interesting looking hen chicken. Like, what is that, by the way? That we just passed. Oh, there was a hiding child in the cornstalk. Whoa.
Ooh, this time can't go past any faster.
The meme of our generation, folks. Barney. Barney's hide-and-seek adventure. Any percent no controller co-op. We're all a part of this. We're all a part of this here. The fandemonium. People can't help but stare. Will Barney go fast enough? Faster than any Barney before him. Or, he was not distracted by cow udders. But that cornstalk, that looked tasty. Whoa, those stars just shot out of him. How does he do it? Almost there, folks. Up. And come on, Bart. Nope, world record's not happening, folks. He's like, nope, I'm taking my time. And ready. Come on, get there. And we have tied second place. 9:19. Woo! Oh man, do I have more time?
I can't believe we just did a speed run.
Yeah, we all did a speed run, folks. Let's see, is there time? Will it work? This is sort of off the cuff. This is off the cuff. Spyro the Dragon. Give me Spyro. Whoa, error loading. That's unfortunate. File run. If it works, I'll do it. If not, does anybody have any questions, comments, smart remarks? Water buffaloes? Come on. Is it gonna load? Boo. Boo. In the meantime, you want to look at something real funny? So this was the end of Crash Warped Run, and instead of finishing the game properly, I decided that jumping in a hole was a better idea. Instead of getting a 3.5 minute personal best, I was like, I'm just gonna jump in this hole. Sounds great. Chokes happen, and they're hilarious. And if you don't laugh at them, then that's a bad time. This is Heath has done a part of a speedrun before. This is me and Heath doing a speedrun the other day. Boom. Crash Bash is a fun meme as well. Boom. Actually, let's go back. Let's rewind that. You ever knock both of the opponents off in that level in 3 seconds? I don't know. It was pretty hard.
We did that.
Yeah. And this. Check out this. So sometimes you find some really cool stuff. Like for example, so in Rugrats Search for Reptar, there's a level with Angelica where you have this laser that shoots. And that shot was better than John F. Kennedy right there. That was through, so where I just went that corner is where that bar is. I shot a shot from 2 rooms over and somehow got it. Riddle me that, please. You find cool stuff. And you learn a lot about artificial intelligence. So this boss fight, it's RNG based. So you have to either go to his left or to his right, and if you choose correctly, he'll scratch his head and you can hit it. But if you choose wrong, he'll come after you. See, you chose wrong. And you just learn about all these different mechanics. In summary, speedrunning's incredible. If you're not doing it, I recommend giving it a shot. I'm Bregerman. That's Cashmere Keith. This has been Speedrunning the Panel. Twitch.tv/Bregerman. My Discord is on there if you want to join and be like, hey, Bregerman, woo! I stream pretty regularly. I stream all kinds of crazy stuff that probably you won't see very many other people stream. I hope you've enjoyed. Enjoy the rest of GEXCon. And enjoy, what's the next panel here? I don't even know anymore. But enjoy it. Enjoy your lives. Score touchdowns. Let's party tonight. Any last words? Or words at all? Woo! All right. Woo! Thank you, GEXCon, for having us. You wonderful and beautiful people.
What the fuck are these cameras?